Hey everybody, good morning. I haven't felt like making a video for a while, and I just woke up today and started really feeling like this was the time. I've been sitting down, and I had something really bad to me happen yesterday. At least I found out about it happening to me yesterday, and it started a volcano inside of me. I erupted like no other. I started freaking out about everything. I was just over my boiling point. And I sat there and I knew all day long, I was thinking about it. I was like, I know that there's a reason for this. I know that there's something important that I have to do and learn from this situation. And what kept happening was I kept trying to blame people. Constantly. I was just blaming, feeling like this is happening, and I want this to happen, and this will be better for me, and all of these things that I was feeling. And I sat there, and at first, when I started feeling them, I recognized them. All of them. I recognized all of these moments from my past. And it wasn't very helpful at first. Not even a little bit. Like, at first, honestly, it was painful. It really didn't make a lot of sense, even though I could recognize them. I recognized where they were coming from, but this destructive feeling was just not going away from me. It's because I never sat down and opened my heart to these moments. I was actually attacking these moments. Not just attacking them, but feeling attacked by them. And today, after getting a good night's sleep and feeling like I've actually started to center myself a little bit, this is the most focused I've felt in a few days. I feel like all of it was about me taking my past and actually learning from it. Really learning from it. Not just taking these moments and simply putting them aside. Because that's what I'm good at. I'm good at I'm good at taking these moments and being like, okay, well that happened. Let's just put it aside now and let's keep going, because I want to be happy. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to be angry about all these things. I want to be happy. Well, if I were to have done that again, I would simply be sitting with a roaring volcano inside of my second chakra. And the second chakra is literally all about our state of mind. It has everything to do with our emotions, because who we are is emotion. We are emotional beings, living in a physical world, experiencing the physical realm as an emotional spirit. That's the male and the female energy beginning to learn how to work together in a way. And even for me, it goes so far both ways. Like, I can never see which one is which. I never can. I try to, but really, they're so interlocked that it's about the similarities between the two. So it's like, we can see the physical body as the female, as the holding ground for all of these feelings and everything like that. And the male energy comes in, and it's actually the umph for the feelings. It's the drive that the feelings are using to even have themselves. But then we come back to the understanding that in our female side, it has this tendency to have more feelings. We get into this more interconnectedness. My body wants to connect to your body. I want to know these moments in a greater sense of being. And so that's the other part of the female coming into the place where the male is. Because not a lot of people would say that your emotions are more male dominant than they are female dominant. But really, it's so interlocked. There's not one that sits over the other. Honestly, both sides are the same coin, literally. And taking that into concept, when we have one part of ourselves that's struggling deeply, it's because another side is either overpowering it or is underpowered on its own. And so they're trying to build each other up. They're trying to work together. They're step ladders. Like, and the way that I think about it is just like how the Kundalini is expressed. The Kundalini is always expressed as being two snakes coming into contact and spiraling up. Well, this is 100% true, but the two serpents are not necessarily serpents. Those are simply guidelines. They're monks and other gurus and other spiritual leaders have used these symbols as ways to relate to not just lower levels of consciousness, but just to relate to the human mind in general. And so what they really are is the male and the female energy inside of us. Because without those two energies, there was never any reproduction. Ever. Like, the fact that those two energies exist is how the universe created itself. The first time that I ever truly saw how the flower of life happened and saw the female and the male energy in action together, I was working in a place you would not even believe, and I found this out. I was working at UPS, and all I was doing was moving boxes. That's all I was doing. Well, so when I was moving boxes, there was a conveyor belt there, and I was unloading these little tiny boxes of bullets. And so I put one on the conveyor belt and let it go, and all of a sudden I start hearing shh, and I'm like, what is that? I never hear that. So I turn around and I see this one box sitting there. And it's sitting on the conveyor belt that is always going straight. It's always forward. And the box is sitting in one place. Halfway off the conveyor belt, halfway on this part of the metal. And it sat there, and all it was doing was spinning in one place. And I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, this is kind of interesting. I was like, why is it doing that? And it took me almost 2 days to fully understand that situation. And yeah, that's what it was. I sat there and I thought about this because I knew there was some relevance to it. So I finally, after 2 days, I was at work and I started talking to everybody about this kind of stuff. Like this was the beginning of my spiritual journey, and I had to open up and start like seeing how other people felt about this and helping myself like even think more about it. And so I finally realized that circular motion was the motion of life. It was the creation of life. For the circle remains dormant, as if a womb, as if an egg. And then, when the straightforward energy tips it, it starts to spin. It's the male hitting the female, creating the impact of life, creating literally the spark of life, the moment of life that is starting right now, and is continuing right now, and it will continue on forever in eternity. You cannot stop life. Life comes and life goes and life changes, but when you see what life really is, what we really are, as being a single organism trying to evolve its state of consciousness to where it is more connected with itself. It's like us trying to take our fingernails and create them to be conscious and aware and be able to do things on their own while we are doing things on our own. It's the same kind of concept. Our body being the greater universe and the fingernail being the tiny piece of it. That's truly what we are and what we're trying to do. And every single day, it is something new. It is something that we have to learn from, something we have to take in and understand. And it's easy to understand it. It's simply just taking the moment and loving it. Because it's easy to love yourself. It is. For some people, it's hard for them to accept all the pain that they've gone through. But that's because they don't want to love it. They don't want to love themselves. They don't want to love who they are. And that's okay. That just creates the feelings of depression, of this hatred. It simply resonates inside of you. And so it's just those feelings being stuck. They're constantly feeling the same way. And if you want to constantly feel the same way, then that's okay, because that's your choice. But if you want to change, if you want to look at yourself, and you want to find yourself, all teridial flow starts from the center, out, through the base, and back. The first place to always start your growth and healing is the heart. Sitting there, studying yourself, loving yourself, knowing yourself. Know thyself. I'm going to end it, so we're at 10 minutes. Probably going to be a little less if I cut this at all. I might not. But, since we've got time, I want to sit here and do a chant. I might end up cutting this out. I don't really know. But I'm going to do this just because I'm in the mood. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and use this today. I want to say that I was totally right when I say it in this next part of the video that the camera could not handle this energy whatsoever. And it gets really, really loud. I'm going to try to figure out how to turn down some volume on it, but I'm just going to warn every single one of you. You need to turn down the volume or find your sweet spot because shit gets fucking loud. I hope you guys enjoy this though. I'm really happy to have made this video. Like, first thing I thought about, really, when I was up and, like, awake, was that I needed to make another video today. That today was a good day for me after everything I've gone through. So, really hope you guys like this. If you can watch it to the end, like, because it isn't the best of quality, you'll hear it. It kind of contrasts, and you don't really get the feel for the singing bowl that I'm going to be using. But, finish it. I think that every single person could benefit just from listening to that 4 minutes of me singing. I hope you guys really like this. Well, so my phone decided to die on me. Oh, well, at least get to the point where I couldn't make a video anymore. But, we'll leave the singing bowl out of it. Because I know that that's like a big amount of energy. Like, I don't think that the camera could fully impact you with that amount of energy, but let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. I just want to do it, because I know that there are people out there that when you sit down with this, it gives you the ability to open up your mind. So when you feel those tingles start going throughout your body, that's actually energy transforming itself inside of you. It's reacting to what's outside of you. Those are catalysts. Those are like enzymes. You can relate all of life to everything. That's why it's important to know things about information, about science, about math, about life, about art, about history. Everything is relatable because we are a single organism. All history that has ever happened is a part of who we are, because without the eons of existence, we couldn't exist. Because of those eons of existence, we have actually come to this point. Just like building blocks. And that's why we are who we are, and we are sacred, and we are divine. And I'm ready to play some singing for you. always follow your heart. If you learn how to follow your heart, you'll always know which way to go. Signing out!